All right, here we are, another episode of the DELO, and I wanted to do a quick episode in regards to my business and things that are part of a business setting and things that I go through every day. As I get older and I understand the aspects of what it takes to not get overworked, overwhelmed, and overzealous on things that I cannot control. And some of these things that we cannot control are other people's perspectives on things. You know, sometimes we just have zero control over what somebody may or may not think about us based on an interpretation or something that has been, said, or they read about, or they assume because they haven't asked any or all the questions, and maybe that conversation between the two of us, was not had, unfortunately. And still, even today in business, with many clients who, do entrust me with, what I do and how I do it, because I've been doing it for so long and I take a lot of pride in it. And one of my biggest things is always being ethical and making sure the right thing is always done for the company. I mean, that's just for their company. That's just always on my mind, because I always want others to be in a better place than where they were before they met me. And a lot of times, if there's some feedback that comes to me, based on, let's just say, some sort of business disagreement, I mean, there's only so much that you can do, and when that happens, it's really important for you to worry about, for me to worry about myself and what I've done, and knowing that what I did was the most ethical and the best that I could have done. And if there was a mistake or something that had happened in the meantime that was done during this sales presentation or performer or whatever it is, then to admit to it and to be transparent to it and to understand that, look, I am human and I do make mistakes. And this isn't exclusively on something that, has just happened today or yesterday. Granted, it does happen a little less, common than, say, it used to in my younger years of, business, but it can happen. And if we keep beating ourselves and beating our head up against the wall on things that we have zero control over, and that's somebody else's attitude, analysis, idea of what they think is right, when you are doing what you feel is right, preferably for them with the tools that you have in the profession that you work in. And a lot of people always have opinions about other people's work and what they do when they're not even heavily ingrained in it. So we can just worry about ourselves, our actions, our intentions, what goes on. I used to get mad. I used to send these emails. Now I breathe and count. Those types of emails don't even go out anymore, because they do nothing. And a bridge burnt is a bridge burnt. At the end of the day, it's a small world. It's a small state. It's a small city. It's a small neighborhood. We all know each other. And if you act that way, even in the heat of the moment, then how are you going to act, when other things arise that you cannot control? Now, acting, let's just say, with an attitude or hate or that sort of thing, to me is way different than acting with passion and getting your point across in a passionate in a very understanding way for people. So getting mad does no good. Expending all of your energy does no good. It just expends your energy. It makes you exhausted. It makes you expend it on something that you, again, have zero control over. You just let go, breathe, and understand that there are other things in life. There's other time in life. This will pass, and when you look at the past and you look at all the things that you got all worked up on, none of it makes any sense, at least not to me. And not being authentic, that's the worst thing you can do. So not being yourself, not being passionate, not being the most knowledgeable, not being authentic, even if you're wrong, to admit that you're wrong, and not being authentic if you're right, if you feel that you are right, because you are the person that does this day in and day out. So, sales pitches are sales pitches. I mean, in business, we hear them all the time, and there's always going to be somebody knocking on your door based on what you do, because there's lots of people out there doing probably what you do in a sales type of situation. And there's always going to be lingo like, we can offer this, we can do this, we can do that better. And even when the client doesn't even want it, when you offer it, it still sounds pretty good to them when somebody else offers it, because they're, already in that mindset of possibly looking for a way out. And fortunately, unfortunately, it just is what it is. You're never going to be able to compete again with the mindset of somebody that's on their way out, as opposed with somebody with a mindset that already has that full compassion, that full love, that full understanding and appreciation for what you do. Therefore, that lingo will not work, because you work together as a team and you figure all that out. And telling somebody, information and just things just to make them happy, that never works. Never tell people shit just to make them happy. Tell them what it is that is going to benefit them, but in the right way. So staying strong in your values and ethics, it's always going to keep you on that course for happiness. You may not land the deal today, you may not land the relationship today, the friendship, whatever it is that you're looking to, get into, but you may get it down the road. You may get it, investing time. And that's the thing. Time is short, but it's also long. And it's long in the essence of, you don't just knock on somebody's door and say, hey, I want to be your friend. You can, and it might work and it might happen, but a lot of times it's just gonna, as we get older and our bullshit meters go up and a lot of different, aspects of life and what our values are, we kind of want to get to know the person a little bit. And that's true in friendship and business and everything else. So eye to eye, baby, look at each other in the eye, have those values, do your thing, have fun with it, be passionate, and just know that, at the end of the day, you control all the feeling, all the emotion, and all of the, all of the intention that you have. So hope you enjoyed this. This is a quick one. I got some guests coming on I'm really excited about, and I really appreciate you listening. Please subscribe if you get a chance, and remember, the DELO loves you. Peace.